Hi, I'm Wojtek Gwiazda. I'm the spokesperson of the RCI Action Committee. And today we're joined by Manuel Caro Torres. He's an Ottawa theater director, and we're very happy that you can join us.
Thank you so much for the invitation.
My first question is, how did you first become aware of Radio Canada International?
Oh yes, I knew Radio Canada International when I was 8 years old. It was very nice because I was given in a Christmas a radio, a small shortwave radio, and for me it's really the most exciting and the best gift I ever received in my life. And when I was 8 years old, it was for me like something magic because I started to listen to a lot of international radio stations, and among them was Radio Canada International. And I started to listen to Radio Canada International when I was 8 years old. I'm talking about 1968. And it was for me something wonderful. For me, it was like magic because being 8 years old, I understood that they were talking to me from Canada. I was living in Colombia. And since then, I was very fond to listen to shortwave radio. It was a small radio. For me, it was really, really, really wonderful. And it was the first time I could listen Radio Canada International.
And why would listening as a child, why would that fascinate you? What was it that listening to Radio Canada International, and I assume in Spanish, gave you that a local radio station didn't?
Because my brother who gave me the small radio, he explained to me that the shortwave are broadcasting stations from abroad. So that even I didn't understand a lot the news, the political news, Radio Canada International. I could understand something about the culture and some news, but I remember that for me, in having that small shortwave radio in my hands, it was like having my world, all the world in my hands. And for me, it was like magic. And I remember that I stayed until late because I was 8 years old, and I was, some days I was until 11 at night listening Radio Canada International. And I liked a lot that the music, tin, 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 Radio Canada
the signal of
I love it a lot.
And that's Oh Canada, which is
yes,
that.
I remember that. This is, Radio Canada has a lot to do with my childhood, because since then I've been listening to shortwave radio all my life.
And when you, as all your life, so as an adult, you kept on listening to Radio Canada International, and I imagine other radio stations. Do you think it gave you a better idea of what Canada was all about?
Absolutely. I started being being 8 years old, and I've been listening to Radio Canada all my life, just mainly until the shortwave was canceled. Because for me, even having internet, I had a very nice radio, shortwave radio, and I like the sound of this radio. And really, it was a very good opportunity for me to learn everything about Canada. I think that Radio Canada International has been and is a window of Canada to the rest of the world. I enjoyed a lot. That's the only way at that moment that I could learn a lot of things about Canadian culture, everything, news, all what was happening in Canada and in Latin America, of course.
Did listening to Radio Canada International affect your choice about where you went because you came to Canada?
Yes, it was one of my dreams because, I've been listening to Radio Canada a lot of years, and obviously one of my dreams was to come here, to live and to see and have the experience, a personal experience about all what I knew about Canada. And I think that's why I finally, at the end of my life, I had the choice to come here because it's something that I've been um, trying to do, or something that since I was a child wanted to do, to come here to Canada and to see this reality of Canada, the culture, the languages, everything.
When you were in Colombia, and I imagine, as a child and then later as an adult, did you tell other people in Colombia that you were listening to Radio Canada International?
All my friends I didn't went a lot of times. I didn't went to play with them. I didn't they because a lot of times I prefer to stay at home, maybe in the afternoons. I prefer to stay at home listening to radio in a lot, because I listen to other broadcasting stations. But they knew, all my friends knew. They called me the radio fan because they knew that I prefer to, I have a relationship, a very close relationship with the radio. I've always been a radio listener, and all my friends, my family knew. My mother always told me, go to bed, it's too late, don't listen to the radio, it's time that you go to bed, because I was hidden in some place at home listening here, and trying to move the
antenna.
The antenna, because you had to be going to one place just to see how the signal was better, so that I was moving, and I enjoy a lot. I didn't want to play with cars. I didn't used to play with cars. It was, as I told you before, it was for me like something magical to have. I thought I could have the world in my hand.
So in terms of the difference between listening to the radio and being able to click on a computer, for you, what's the difference? What are the advantages, disadvantages?
Let's see something. The great advantage of the radio is that you can go everywhere. All you need is just batteries, or to plug in all you need. You don't have gigas, you don't have anything, because in fact with the radio you put the antenna and you can be at home or wherever you go. And I like a lot the sound of the radio, and in internet is different. Obviously in the internet is clearer, it's very easy, and the advantage of internet is that you can be everywhere. You can listen in a very clear way. You don't need to be moving the knob. You know how I mean? But I find that the radio is magic. The shortwave radio. Even here at home, here I have I can listen to my computer, but I have my radio, because I love the radio sound. I love it. Is magical.
How do you think listening to the radio affected your careers in theater?
Yes, a lot, because one of the things that I used to listen to in radio as well was radio romances. I don't know if you have heard that.
Kind of like radio theater.
Yes.
Like telenovelas, kind of.
Yes, like telenovelas, but in radio. So that I listening a lot. I was very fond to listen the radio dramas, and my love for theater. I think that it comes from that for listening to the actors. I follow a lot of radio comedy, radio dramas. I remember that was a very, very interesting radio serial, that Calimán, that was a hero. And I was close to the radio, and I think that my love for theater comes as well from that radio drama that I used to listen when I was a teenager.
In 2012, the CBC, our public broadcaster, stopped RCI from being able to broadcast on shortwave. And so we stopped being a radio station. We were only a website. How did you react to that?
It was a very sad day for me. I was very sad for that. I was very sad for that because, and still, and as well, because not everybody in the first world, you can have a computer, but there are a lot of places in the world that they can't afford to have a computer. I love the third world, Latin America, Africa. There are a lot of places in the world that they can afford a computer. It's simple. Here in the first world, in Europe, in the Western world, you can have a computer, but and I was very sad. I was very sad because even having in my computer, I used to use my radio to listen in shortwave, and I think that it was a very sad day for me and for a lot of people, because it is, you know what, because it means to be disconnected of a lot of things. It's like a broken bridge, because shortwave is very important for a lot of people of the world. It's the only bridge of connection. It's the only way and chance that a lot of people have to connect and to learn and to know about another culture, about other country, to learn and practice languages. And I think that it is, I don't know really why or what criteria this radio station. Maybe it's an economical criteria, I think so. I don't know, but it was for me a very bad news, and I'm sure that for a lot of people in the world, because they can afford a computer.
Well, you can't afford a computer, and even if you have a computer or if you have a smartphone, it still costs money to be able to listen. So
yes,
you're losing a lot of people around the world.
Of course.
So,
even in Colombia, there are a lot of towns that people don't have the chance to have even internet. They don't have it. They can't afford, because in that small towns, internet doesn't exist. It's very difficult to have access to internet.
Well, even in a country like Canada, there are parts of northern Canada that they don't have very good. Even you don't even have to go north. There's lots of parts of rural Canada you don't have good service.
And you see, the shortwave could be a very good solution, because it's for free. You just have a good radio and you can be connected. You are not isolated. You're connected with the rest of the world just with one piece that is radio.
Yeah, you buy it and that's it. You don't have to pay anybody. No, you don't have to ask anybody's permission. No. Don't have to hook up.
Even here at home, I can show you a very nice, because I had different kind of brands of radio, and here at home I have a radio that was 20 years ago, the state of the art in radio. It was I wanted to can I show you my radio?
Sure.
I have it here. Wait a minute. This is you know.
Yeah, a grande.
Yes, I bought this radio 25 years ago, or in the Netherlands. Listen, I travel with this radio everywhere I go, and this is a shortwave radio, because it was for me like a treasure. And I still have it here. I prefer to listen radio here than in internet.
Yeah, there is something very special about that. Now, December 3rd comes, and not only are we not on shortwave, not only are we not a radio station, now CBC is saying, oh, we're going to cut down the number of people that are doing things in Spanish. We're going to cut down on the number of contextualization that we do. And I know that you were upset and you wrote to the Prime Minister. Tell us a little bit about what you wrote and why you're upset.
Yes, I am very upset, because I don't understand really why politicians like the ministry take that kind of decision. I think that maybe being a minister, they don't understand really what to take this decision involves. I was very upset because that's why I wrote to him. I sent him an email because for me it's unacceptable to take the decision, mainly because of the employment of the people, and what is behind is to cut as well the chance that a lot of people continue learning about Canada. All the Latin American people learn about what is happening in Latin America. That is as well something, because in Colombia, in Venezuela, it could be a lot of times easier to learn what is happening in the rest of Latin America, listen Radio Canada International, because they broadcast with the news about all Latin America. And as well, I got upset because I think that the journalists that have been doing their job with the contents of the Radio Canada International, I think that they have been doing a very good job. So that I wrote this email because I don't understand. I can't understand why they took the decision. It's, for me, very difficult to understand that.
And for us, it's very difficult to understand, and it's hard to understand how Canada, a country that has been in the past so proud of its multilateral relations with many countries and has been up until now fairly independent politically in terms of the countries that it associates with, you kind of look at this and you say, how can our government allow the CBC to diminish our impact, to diminish our voice on the world? It's hard to understand that any country would say, oh no, we don't want to be heard as much. It's crazy.
It's crazy, but I think that it's because they don't really know what it involves. For me, the only conclusion that I take is that they do that because they don't understand what is behind. They don't understand that. They don't understand that it's a very important, the Radio Canada International is an institution of Canada. It's a very important, it's been very important. It's just, abroad, it's just an institution. And to finish with that is something bad, I think so. It's an institution. It has become an institution all over the world. And it's hard for me to understand why they do that. Why they do that, because it's an institution.
And I think, I don't want to put words into your mouth, but if you listen to us all these years, you must have believed what we said. You must have felt that we were a reliable source of information, that we could be trusted.
Of course.
That it wasn't a propaganda station.
Yes, I think that because something that I realized with the time, with all the years after, is that the journalists of Radio Canada International are very professional, very good. I can realize that mainly because I've been listening a lot of time Radio Canada International, and that's why I can say that all the journalists have been doing a very excellent job, in all the fields, culture, sport, and that's why I'm sad, because they can finish with that, they can end with this.
If you could say to Prime Minister Justin Trudeau what you felt, if you could directly say, this is why I care, and this is why it's important that this Radio Canada International continue, what would you say?
I will beg them not to do that. I will beg them to keep on with Radio Canada on the air. I will ask them why they do that. I will beg them, please don't do that. Don't do that. They need to understand. I would ask them if they understand what they're doing and what an institution like Radio Canada means for the rest of the world. Yes, it is a window. It's a window of Canada, a very important window of Canada in a lot of corners of the world. They need to understand that. I could say that to them.
Manuel Caro Torres, thank you very much.
Thank you.